Hello everyone. This is the one of the SQL question of the Leetcode to find the number of active users. Today I'm going to brief about how we can solve this problem step by step. There are two tables are given, accounts and the logins. Accounts having ID and the name, and the logins having ID and the login date. The question is to find the ID and the name of active users. So to understand the active users are those who logged into their accounts for 5 or more consecutive days. And the final result should be ordered by the ID. Yeah, we'll go step by step and resolve this problem. We look towards the data. Account table having two IDs, ID 1 and 7. One is Winston and the 7 is Jonathan. The logins table has the information of the users with ID value. ID 1 being Winston, his login date is on 30th of May. And the second occurrence is only on 7th of June. So there is no consecutive logins for the user Winston. In the case of Jonathan, we could see the login date is 30th of May, and then 31st he has first, second, third. So if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So consecutive 5 days login details are there. But here if you see, there are two same values are there. Login date on 2nd of June and 2nd of June. So just focus on this. This is also one of the things we need to address while writing our query. And the expected result is Jonathan with the ID 7, because Jonathan has consecutive logins for more than 5 days. So I will take you to the step-by-step method how to do through SQL. First, we'll create the table and we'll load the data. This is the account table. I am going to create the table and loading the data. And I'm going to create the logins table as well. The output is expecting the ID and the Jonathan, the name. So we will see the data, how the data is in as a part of the SQL. If we look towards the data, yeah, we have the information of Winston, Jonathan, and corresponding logins data also there. So it is matching to the input. As a first step, we will understand how we'll go ahead. We'll see how we'll identify the consecutive days. From the logins table, I will pull out the ID and the login date. Let me partition by using dense rank based on the ID so that I can get the number based on the login date. I will show the output, so that will help us to understand much better. If you see here, as a part of the dense rank, I am partitioning on the ID. There are two login details, 30th and the 7th. So 30th will be assigned to one rank and the 7th will be second rank. Similarly, for the ID 7, if you see, the rank number is 1 to 6. If you look at here why I'm using a dense rank, because the number in the sixth row, if you see, the date, that is June 2nd, is repeated twice. So if you use a row number, what will happen? The number will change here because row number will assign the number for each row. But the dense rank will assign the same number, having if there are the same value, and it will keep the next number for the next row. If you see here, it starts with 1, 2, 3 for the same value. It repeat the same rank, that is 4, 4. For the next row, it started with the number 5. And the other part is we will see the difference, the date difference. What is the difference between the dates? Here, first we need to identify the minimum date. This is the minimum date. As a part of the date field, the date difference, we need the date difference. So we are we have to pass the minimum date. It means is one of the input value required for the date difference. So we have to pass the minimum date here. That's why I'm using the select minimum of login date from the main table itself. Then we are going to assign the login date. So what it will do, for every row, it will find the difference with respect to the minimum date. If I see here, the minimum date is 30th in this table. So 30th May to 30th May, it is 0 days. And for 30th May to 7th of June, it is 8 days. If I go like that, what will happen? The number of day difference will be coming into picture. How it will be helpful? This row number help us to identify the, not row number, the rank number help us to identify what rank it is, and the difference will give the number of difference of days. If we use both this rank number and the date difference, if we subtract these two, we will get the difference consecutively. We'll see that in the next step. If we see here, especially for the ID 7, when it is May 30th, the difference is 0, we got the difference of 1. Again in the 31st, we got the difference of 1. How it is means, so the consecutive days move forwards. The date difference move forwards by one number, and this rank also moves one step forward. And also if you observe it, for the same days, the rank is also same, the difference is also same. That's where we are finding the value 1. Whenever we find the difference 1, this signifies that it is a consecutive days. This logic helps us to identify the consecutive days, and we'll use this logic to move forward by using CT table approach. Here, if you see, this is the same query. I used it, I removed the other columns. So now it is going to give you only the date difference. From this, we'll try to find the number of consecutive days. This is the third step we need to follow. If I run this query, see here, okay, I will sort it. For the ID number 1, value 1 day, there are no consecutive days here by group. For the 7, we see consecutively 6 days. because if you see the output of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 consecutive days. We are grouping here ID, login date, and here we are getting the difference of 1 continuously. That grouping will help us to give the number of days as 6 here. If I run this, it is giving 6. So now we'll complete the query by combining all this. Here, the first query or the first intermediate table is going to give us the difference. And the second query help us to find the consecutive days. And the third, we are going to use it because as per the requirement, we have to find ID and the name. This ID and the name is present in the accounts table. So after finding the result, we have to pass the data to the account table so that I can get the details of it. So what I'm doing here is I'm selecting the ID, name and from the accounts table, but to get the ID value, I have to get that ID from the previous condition. If you see, this is from the second table where I'm applying the condition consecutive number of days is greater than 5, where we have a count star. If I give a run this query, if you see here, I'm getting only for the ID 7, number of days is more than 6. So if I run this query, I'm getting the output Jonathan. So this is the step-by-step way we can find the solution for this question. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.